right. So, as part of our product line for Liberation AI, we have both a search bot and a chat bot. Now, the search bot is really great for people who have a list of resources, a long list of resources that you'd like to be able to search through. A good example of this might be a podcast, for example, where we could basically transcribe all of the episodes of your podcast, and we could have all of those be searchable within this search bot. So essentially, it would be fantastic for being able to ask a question and seeing, like, let's say you had a fitness podcast, and you wanted to search throughout all this fitness podcast, where was intermittent fasting mentioned? So you can search intermittent fasting, and it'll list the transcripts for each of the episodes where intermittent fasting is actually listed. And then you can click on that result. It'll actually have like a brief answer to whatever your question is, where, if you can ask, for example, a basic question about intermittent fasting, like, which hours should I have my eating window for intermittent fasting? So it would basically pull all of the episodes that talk about intermittent fasting. It would produce an example or an answer for you based on all of the information it finds. And then it would list all of the different transcripts from each of the podcast episode where intermittent fasting is mentioned and where you might be able to find these answers. And you'll be able to click on each of those and go to the corresponding podcast where it's mentioned. So the search bot is incredible for being able to, look through a bunch of different resources and basically finding like a variety of answers really quickly. So the chatbot, on the other hand, is better for actual conversational things that you might want to be more conversational, such as customer support, for example, where you can have a chatbot that's trained on your entire website content and your company's knowledge base. And if anybody has questions, the chatbot will be able to go back and forth with them in a conversational manner that would feel much more like a human interaction rather than a search engine. So I guess in a similar scenario, comparing it to the search bot, using the fitness podcast as an example, if you wanted to have more of an experience where, let's say you're a fitness influencer, and of course, as a fitness influencer, your audience really values and appreciates your opinion on things. And if you wanted to be able to kind of like simulate the experience that they'd have of actually consulting with you and being able to go back and forth and kind of explore different ideas, then that's where the chatbot will be more beneficial. Again, it's anywhere where you want a more conversational experience that more mimics a human to human connection, and where one answer would be appropriate for a question. So it's not as good as the search bot at listing a variety of resources and kind of serving as a directory, where you would want to be able to reference across different pools of information, or different books, different podcasts, and that sort of thing. So they're really kind of different approaches, and it's kind of a nuanced thing. I think it's a little bit easier to wrap your head around it when you actually see it in action. But that's definitely something that we can explore with you. If you're looking at purchasing one of our services, we can help you establish which of the services would be a better fit.